What is going on, everybody? This is a market recap for the dots bias indicator, and today was not a good day for the good old one dot entry function. Hand up, I haven't been doing a good job of pairing the dots indicator, which I use on a 1 minute chart, with higher time frame, more narrative structure kind of stuff to pair, the dots with larger, higher time frame structure. To be fair, the dots on the 1 minute chart for the last like 2 or 3 weeks was on absolute fire. I think it was like 9 or 10 straight winning days in a row, and I got a little complacent. The past 2 days, there have been some negative or some short dots trades, particularly pertaining to the one dot entry function that just straight up didn't work. And I'm going to show you how, if I just used a little higher time frame narrative, those stops could have been avoided. So on the right hand side, this is a daily chart of the NASDAQ futures, and you can see this price action is bullish as hell. High, low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Very bullish price action. So on a daily chart alone, this could warrant only taking bullish green dot setups. No brainer. If you go down to a 4 hour chart, I was talking to my boy TG Capital, and he likes to frame trades narrative off of a 4 hour chart. You look at this 4 hour fair value gap, the ICT nerd mean threshold, the 50% of the fair value gap has held. No bars have closed below it. And one thing I've gotten lazy about, admittedly, is comparing or not comparing NASDAQ to ES enough. So today I'll show you a good example of how not only could you have avoided short setups on NASDAQ that did not work. Today was a -2 hour loss day for the one dot entry function, but there were ES setups to be had. So this is the 4 hour chart of the ES, same kind of situation. This 4 hour fair value gap holding its mean threshold ICT thing. So if you just look at this chart and you just have a bullish narrative, so you only want to take bullish setups, going back to the NASDAQ, you can see that there weren't really any bullish setups in terms of all green dots until the afternoon. This is actually a setup I took and it failed to all-time highs. So you get these little plots of all green dots and you just couldn't thrust higher. So the NASDAQ was weaker relative to the ES all day and the past couple of days. So the market opened up and we had a series of all red dots, one dot entry function right here. I think I took this and this was a break even for me. I took 10 points and then stop at -10 and it was a break even. But no follow through on the short side. Right here, short here, 11. This could have been, actually I didn't take this one. I took this one and this one was a break even, but just no follow through on the downside. So letter of the law, this was a stop out here and this was a stop out here. So -2R on the day. And then you can see for NASDAQ, and you can see dots were mixed, and then we started getting this move higher. So if you just had a bullish bias, these bearish dot setups could have been, at worst, just no trades. You just avoid them. But let me go to the ES chart, and the same kind of higher time frame structure. You could argue a more bullish instrument. So more bullish instrument in a bullish market. For correlated instruments, it probably would make sense to trade the stronger instrument. And it's just something that, because the NASDAQ dots had been doing so well the past 2 weeks, I just got lazy. And so you go to the ES chart. Again, dots are mixed, do nothing. Market's open, dots are mixed, do nothing. You can just tell that the ES is just stronger. So we get a 1 dot entry function here. The ATR down here at the time was 3.5 points. So, call it 3 3/4, 3.5 points. So winner here, dots reset, long, 1 dot entry function, winner here. The ATR at the time was 3 points. So 12 ticks. That's all it takes. It's just having a higher time frame narrative, which was just look at the freaking chart, and this 4-hour higher time frame fair value gap holding its 50%. My boy Tyler likes to use. So why look short? I was focused on too tight of a micro time frame. So the 1 dot entry function on the NASDAQ had a 2R loss day. But if I had the wherewithal to pay more attention to the higher time frame setup and look for longs only, and recognize in real time, which is the whole point of trading, not hindsight trading, is to recognize that the ES was the stronger instrument. And you can see it played out with 1 dot entry functions on the ES here and here. And there were no setups until the afternoon on NASDAQ, the weaker instrument, until here. And even so, not much follow through. So I'm going to try to do a better job of incorporating the higher time frame analysis with the dots, and in real time try to do a better job of comparing and contrasting what's stronger, what's weaker, in terms of NASDAQ and ES. It's almost inexcusable. I'm actually pretty embarrassed that I just got complacent when the last 2 or 3 weeks, every day was a pretty easy, one and done winning day. Basically most days over the last 2 weeks were done by like 10 or 10:30. So this is making me work for it a little more. So hope that helps. Again, using the higher time frame bias to pair it with the dots is what I'm gonna try to highlight more going forward. I'll post my thoughts and charts in the Discord, as well as on Twitter. And yeah, hope that helps. Feel free to reach out with any questions, and talk to you then. Thanks.